Have you ever felt so lost that you just wanted to get on a train and go anywhere, just to escape? That was me. One rainy Tuesday, with a heart that felt like a shattered teacup, I bought a one-way ticket to a place I'd never heard of. I just needed to run, to put distance between myself and the life that had crumbled around me. The train pulled out of the station, and with each click-clack of the wheels on the track, I hoped a piece of the pain would fall away. I found an empty seat by the window and let the world blur past. Rain streaks turned the passing city lights into long, sorrowful brushstrokes. I was a ghost in that carriage, invisible to the families laughing and the students buried in books. My world had shrunk to the size of my grief. I replayed every argument, every broken promise, every tear. It was a masochistic loop, a film I couldn't stop watching, and each viewing just confirmed my failure. The train was my self-imposed exile, a moving prison where I could punish myself with memories. I didn't know where I was going, and frankly, I didn't care. The destination didn't matter when you felt like you had nothing left to arrive for. The hours bled into one another. Night fell, painting the window black, turning it into a mirror. I saw a reflection I didn't recognize, a hollow-eyed stranger, a woman who had forgotten how to smile. I must have looked as broken as I felt, because an elderly woman who had sat down across from me a while back gently cleared her throat. "The tea trolley will be by soon," she said, her voice soft, like worn velvet. "A warm cup does wonders for the soul, you know." I just nodded, unable to speak past the lump in my throat. When the trolley came, she bought 2 cups and pushed one across the small table towards me. "No, please," I whispered. I couldn't. She just smiled, a small, knowing smile. Nonsense. A shared cup of tea on a long journey is a tradition, my treat. Something about her kindness chipped away at the wall I had built around myself. We didn't talk about why I was there, or where I was going. Instead, she told me about her garden, how she talked to her roses, and how they always seemed to bloom brighter after a good chat. She talked about her late husband, not with sadness, but with a gentle fondness, like he was just in the next room. She described the way he dehumovki while doing the dishes and how he could make the best apple pie from the sourest apples. She wasn't telling me to get over my pain. She was just showing me that life and love continued. She was showing me that memories could be a comfort, not just a weapon. As she spoke, I started to notice the world outside my own head again. The rhythmic sound of the train was no longer a funeral march, it was a steady heartbeat. I saw the other passengers, not as a faceless crowd, but as individuals, each on their own journey, each with their own story. There was a young man sketching in a notebook, his brow furrowed in concentration. A mother was quietly singing a lullaby to her sleeping child. We were all just travelers, moving through time and space, sharing this brief moment together. My personal tragedy, which had felt so all-encompassing, started to feel a little smaller in the grand scheme of things. The old woman, whose name was Eleanor, asked me what I loved to do. It was a simple question, but it stumped me. I had to dig deep, past the layers of recent heartbreak, to find the person I used to be. I used to paint, I finally said, the words feeling foreign on my tongue. Landscapes, mostly. I loved capturing the light. Her eyes lit up. Ah, an artist. The world always needs more people who can see the beauty in it and show it to the rest of us. She didn't press for why I'd stopped. She just accepted the fact that I had, and in her acceptance, I felt a flicker of permission to start again. The sun began to rise, casting a soft, golden glow over the rolling hills outside. It was the first sunrise I'd truly watched in months. The rain had stopped, and the world looked washed clean, brand new. It was a landscape I would have loved to paint. Eleanor was gathering her things. Her stop was coming up. "Remember your light?" she said, patting my hand. "It's still in there. Sometimes you just have to travel a bit to find the right place to let it shine." She got off at a tiny, picturesque station that looked like it was pulled from a storybook, and just like that, she was gone. I stayed on the train for a few more hours, but something had shifted. I wasn't running away anymore. I was traveling toward something. I didn't know what it was, but the fear was replaced by a quiet curiosity. I looked at the ticket in my hand, the destination I had chosen at random. Hope's Crossing, it read. I almost laughed. It was a coincidence, A silly, on-the-nose name for a town. But in that moment, it felt like a sign. The train was slowing down, pulling into the station. I looked out the window and saw a small town nestled in a green valley, bathed in the morning sun. It looked peaceful. It looked like a place where someone could start over. I gathered my single bag, my heart still aching, but not shattered. It felt more like a kintsugi bowl, the Japanese art of repairing broken pottery with gold. The cracks were still there, but they were filled with something new, something that made the whole piece stronger and more beautiful. I stepped off the train and onto the platform, taking a deep breath of the fresh, country air. I didn't have a plan. I didn't know a soul. But for the first time in a very long time, I wasn't looking back at the life I had left behind. I was looking forward to the path that lay ahead. I had boarded that train with a broken heart, but I was stepping off with a fragile, but very real, sensei of hope. The journey wasn't over. It was just beginning. This story is a reminder that sometimes the most important journeys are the ones we take within ourselves. It's about finding kindness in unexpected places and realizing that no matter how dark it gets, the sun will always rise again. If you've ever felt lost, know that you're not alone, and your next chapter is waiting for you. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more stories. See you next time.